Welcome back, everybody. I'm Christian here at LGT, and we're doing another Q&A talking about maintenance, and you guys sent in some questions, and I'm here to answer them. So enjoy the video, and we'll be right back. So first question is, how do you repair a def leak? In terms of a def leak, it's just a standard hose and clamp style. You're really not going to do anything different there. It's basically you drain the system, that way you don't get def everywhere. And then you change out the line or you tighten up the clamp, and that's pretty much it there. So sometimes it's a fitting. You might have specialty fittings in there that are threaded or that are quick connects of some type, and those you'll have to probably replace those fittings to go through. So question is how to grease a truck's U-joint. When it comes to greasing a truck's U-joint, it's pretty simple. You just need a standard grease gun, and you have a grease zerk, which we've covered actually in a previous video, where you put the gun on the zerk, and then you allow the pressure of the grease to flow into the fitting. Now, usually there's the weird question of how long do you hold the pump down in terms of greasing the entire fitting. The one rule I've always heard is basically you grease it until grease comes out of the actual U-joint itself. It's kind of hard to describe. You will hear some cackling and you see some old grease come out. If you use the same color grease, generally it'll be a little bit discolored until you get a good flow of the red grease that we use. And that's when you know you've gotten the entire fitting greased. So next question is, how do you clean a DPF filter? DPF filters are the new after treatment systems. They came up with, I think, back in, I'm probably quoting it wrong, 2007 or 2010 with EPA regulations. And if you look over here on my left, you got steps. Behind that step is actually the single canister DPF filter that Cummins came out with, I think within the last 5 years. And basically you have, and I could explain the whole DEF system, but if we focus on the DPF, it's called the diesel particulate filter. And so what a diesel engine produces is called particulate matter, and that goes through a honeycomb design of porcelain material that then gets combined with the DEF fluid to then react at a hotter temperature to then burn off the NOx, or the nitrous oxides, to then clean it out. However, over time, since it's not a perfect system, it gets plugged up. And when you get a plugged up DPF filter, you have two options nowadays. My preference, because it's a used truck by the time you're dealing with it, is to pull the DPF and then the DOC, or the diesel oxidation catalyst, and you will bake them at a shop that has an oven that actually bakes it, kind of like a kiln, and you would bake it in an oven, break loose particulate matter, and then they would pneumatically blow it out. And by cleaning that, you then get a certain more lifespan out of it, right? Now the downside to it is, what I'm hearing lately is DPF filters will get plugged up more over time the more you bake it. The rule I heard was, I think you lessen the life of the DPF filter by half every time you bake it. And so if you look at the Cummins guidelines, they say between 400 and 600,000, depending on how much idling you do and what kind of fuel mileage you're getting. So you would pull it out at that mileage, you would bake it, and then if you think about a 400,000 mile pull the DPF, bake it, you would then only get 200,000 miles out of that next cycle, right? Now they're also coming out with remans. I don't know if they're as popular anymore, but then they're also constructing new ones. So you can replace it, which will be one instance, or you can bake it and then blow it out pneumatically, and that will be the last instance. So generally, most dealerships will have that offer, or that feature, or I should say the kiln, where they can actually bake those off. Otherwise, you might run into specialty services that do those kinds of services. So the last question was, there's a shortage on DEF sensors. What do you do about that, and why are they going bad? I can't really tell you why they're going bad. I don't know. But what I can tell you is there is a shortage of them, and that's simply because of the circuitry involved. As my understanding, there's a silicon chip within the sensor itself. And of course, that is causing a shortage of parts because there's a silicon chip shortage. I don't know if that's nationwide or worldwide. I'm really not sure. However, DEF level sensors have been extremely tough to come by, at least on the side that we run in terms of the trucking industry. So I don't know if it's specific to a particular make of truck or anything like that, but def level sensors are going bad notoriously more often. I know manufacturers are working on trying to figure out the problem and updating the part numbers as quick as they can. However, most dealerships have limited it to one def sensor per day per customer. Now what that means is not necessarily us as the customer. That actually means the dealership is the customer from PACCAR, right? That's usually the common misunderstanding, right? You know, like, well, if you got one, sell it to me. And they're like, well, no, we can't. Well, they don't have any because they can only order one from PACCAR as a customer per day, and that's the rule. So we've had instances where shops have had 12 trucks down for def level sensors at a time, and they can't get them. We're basically trying to buy them from around the country. So my suggestion to kind of overcome it for right now is to call every dealership you can find just to get your hands on one. And if you're a trucking company, to stock up and make sure you've got enough to sort of outlast the shortage. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for sending in your questions. I hope my answers were satisfactory. If you do have any more questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. We'll do our best to go through them and answer them. If you like the video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and enjoy some more content. We have some maintenance videos going up. I encourage you to check them out. And again, thank you very much.